And our tech lead, he's been around forever, and I can't list all of the credits on his resume because it's only a 2-hour show. You might know him from his roles in Don John, 500 Days of Summer, Third Rock from the Sun, The Dark Knight. Actor Joseph Gordon-Levitt joined forces with Senator Dick Durbin on Capitol Hill earlier today to take on big tech, calling for reforms to Section 230. Section 230 is the law that protects tech companies from being sued over content posted by users. Joseph Gordon-Levitt joins us now. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Big fan. I told you some of my staffers know you all the way back to Angels in the Outfield, which was a deep cut I didn't even know about.
I'm very flattered. That's a good one. That's the one I've shown my kids.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Congress passed Section 230 in 1996 when the internet was barely getting started. People didn't really, it didn't, whatever the internet was like in 96 is not the same now.
It's different.
And obviously the way we use the internet has changed a bit. What ethical guardrails would you like to see put in place to regulate content while not obviously censoring?
Yeah, the first thing you really need to understand is the distinction between speech. We all want to protect free speech, something that somebody says. But when a platform uses an algorithm to suck up as much of your time and attention as possible and use all the data points in its machine learning to maximize that ad revenue, that's not the same as human speech. But right now, the platforms are claiming that it is. And back 30 years ago, when Section 230 was passed, they said, hey, we're just going to be these neutral platforms. Don't treat us like a publisher. We're just a dumb pipe.
Right.
But they're not dumb pipes anymore. They were maybe back then. If you just have a chronological feed of the people you follow and just what they say, sure, that's maybe something more neutral. But I think nowadays on Instagram, TikTok, etc., it's only like 10% of what you get is stuff that you wanted to see because you followed that person. 90% of what you get is something that the algorithm is calculating you're going to get hooked by.
Okay, so without getting too in the weeds, what are you looking for changes to? I mean, because it doesn't sound like you're talking about censorship per se. Are you talking about tweaking the algorithm so it's not just forcing rage bait into my feed?
Well, so much of these terrible outcomes that we see are from these attention maximizing algorithms, where there's like a mental health crisis, especially amongst young people, rise in extremism and conspiracy theories, these echo chambers that make it so that we can't even have civil conversations with each other anymore. Yeah, but Section 230 protects these companies from getting sued when all these harms come to pass. And by the way, a lot of the harms, who suffers them the worst? It's our kids.
Yeah, no, we cover it a lot. You and your wife are both in the tech space. You founded an online community called Hit Record. I don't know what that is. Tell me what that is, and how has, it sounds like your wife might have been the influence here because she comes from the tech world more than you. I'm sorry, Hit Record. I pronounced it.
Well, it's a turn of phrase you can either say both.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to help me out with that.
Yeah,
but how has it influenced your opinion on this topic?
Yeah, Hit Record was this thing I started a long, long time ago with my brother, and it was just an online community that kind of grew and eventually became a VC-backed media tech startup. And I went into the tech industry in Silicon Valley, honestly not knowing anything, and got sort of my quasi-Stanford education running that company. And when I went through all these experiences running that company, I learned not only about the tech, but about the business incentives that drive tech companies. Because ultimately, I think technology, I raise my hands a lot these days about some concerns I have about technology, but it's not actually the tech. It's the businesses and their incentives that make tech harmful sometimes. Yeah. Because a technology like social media can be great, or it can be really harmful. A technology like AI, it can be great, or it can be really harmful. It's sort of up to us how we use it. The problem is, if there are no guardrails that are driving how the tech is designed and deployed, and it's only motivated by profits, that's when we get these really damaging side effects that we're seeing.
Fascinating stuff. We'd love to have you back, and I know you're working on a movie, a fictional treatment about this very subject.
That's exactly right. For Netflix.
For Netflix.
Next year. Rachel McAdams is going to be great.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. And you've likely noticed political ads look a lot different these days. The goal is to make you remember the message. Is it working? We're going to test the theory next.